Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for stopping in. Hey, as you've seen, we just put this big dead cherry tree on the ground. This is the tree that's in the lane that runs through my woods. I've been yammering about cutting this thing down for a while. I have a beautiful sunny mid-70s day here at the end of October. Couldn't ask for a better day to do it. A little windy, but we'll work with it. So I'm gonna go through and I've got a piece of scrap wood that I'm gonna use to mark the log now that's on the ground. My rule that I use on this is I cut these into 50-inch pieces. That's small enough that I don't have any trouble with the loader picking them up on the tractor, and it's easy to get the 50-inch wide pieces through the woods up to the log pile. So we're gonna go through, mark this, cut it up, and get it hauled up to the wood yard, which fortunately for this tree is not too far of a trek. Try to get you out of the sun and show you. We are literally just east of the wood yard. So we're gonna get after that and try and get this cleaned up and maybe move on to some other trees we got in the back if we've got time. So I hope you stick around. We'll talk to you later. Okay, we're out here trying to pick up the top of this cherry tree, and I've got one piece of it up on the forks, and it is basically about the only part of it that's any good is the very center of it. All the sapwood is pretty punky, so I think we're gonna just leave this stuff lay out here and finish rotting in the woods and just not worry about it. And we'll just split up what we got out of that trunk. I'll go over here and show you the trunk real quick. So the outside of it also looked fairly punky. I mean, you can see the rot that's on the bottom of this thing. But if you look here, I mean, this thing, I'll grab the, let's see. I mean, just the very outside edge is punky, but the rest of that trunk is pretty solid. So we'll grab the saw and we'll head out back and see if we can't pull a couple of these tops down that are hung up. So stick around. So here you can see one of the other tree tops we got down. Like I said, that's pretty much the whole top of that tree. So we're gonna pull this piece out with the tractor. I don't know that we'll get to cutting that down today. We'll see how we get on the top. Well, I think that's going to do it for cleaning up taking down the cherry tops today, and we got that dead one cut up, so I'm pretty happy with that. I got to thinking about it while we were cutting up that last top and getting it hauled up here, and looking at this here pile of logs. I want to, before I start bringing any more logs up, or I take the other two cherry trees the rest of the way down, I think I'm going to clean up the new spot up here in the yard for stacking logs. I want to get that leveled out first. I don't know on the video if it shows up very well, but my wood yard here where I've got all these logs piled up, there's a little bit of a slope to it. And there's one spot when I pull in here that if I don't get it just right, it's a lot higher than the rest of it. And it kind of tries to tip the tractor. So it kind of gets to be a pain in the butt to unload logs. And it gets a little sketchy if you don't hit it just right. So I think before we bring them other two, or finish them other two cherry trees in the back up, I think we'll work on getting a new landing spot cleaned up. So we're going to do that right in here. I got a place to put some of this topsoil that's piled up here. So I think what I'll do before we get too much farther on cutting any more of them damaged trees up, I'm going to get this cleaned up next, and then we'll get back to working on that. And once we get that going, we will be back to finishing up our pile of rounds. I got a few more blocks to rip up, and then we'll get back to splitting. Most of these are ripped already, but there are that piece there that needs ripped. There's a couple in the back that need ripped in too. But we'll get going on that. I'll probably work on that this coming weekend, and then if the weather holds out, that is. But I think the next major thing to get done is going to get that cleaned up, so we got a place to put them other trees that we got to take down yet. So appreciate you sticking with me today, and hope you all have a good week, and I'll see you soon.